This should not be carried forward. This is not a slush fund. This money is the county taxpayers' money, and what you've got now is a gambling debt. You've got the gambling debt on this administration that the property taxes were going to pay for a irresponsible budget. The signs were on the wall when this budget was conceived, and now to sell off the hamakua land on a bad gambling debt is not right. That would be like the federal government selling off Yosemite Park to pay for the budget, or selling off Kalakaua Park. It's not in the game plan as a community. Land is the building blocks of community. This is, a lot of people will never have a chance of owning the hamakua land. We are the landlords of this land, and we have come to claim it.
When I heard that the mayor wanted to sell the hamakua land, my heart went out to the people of the land. The land truly does belong to the people.
We should have the chance to find out who is buying this land, how much are they willing to pay for this land, and what are their intended purposes. Being the landlords of this land, it is our responsibility to know this.
The other concern I'm having with this transparency as a farmer here in Hawaii is if this goes to a GMO and that GMO's crops pollinate or cross-pollinate with my crops, I will be facing a lawsuit from a large multinational corporation with deep pockets and sharks for lawyers, and they will put me out of business like that. They will sue me for patent infringement, and I will not be able to defend my small 5-acre farm against this huge multinational corporation. So if you want to kill small agriculture permanently on this island, you would, without transparency, without any public comment or any thought to the consequences, in a sweetheart deal, just let some big corporation buy this. And if this happens, shame on you, and the damage you will have done to this island and the generations to follow will be momentous.
I hope you're listening to all the people that are talking today. I mean, it's very important. It's just resounding for open and transparent government. We need to reinstate the checks and balances provided by the council to the executive branch. Open and transparent government establishes trust for citizens in their government. They can see what's going on, they feel comfortable with the process, and they feel part of the process. That's so important. If you approve this, this will go to the ballot and potentially be approved or disapproved by voters. So let us make the decision. You can hear the intelligence of the people here today testifying. I hope the council will pass this and let the wisdom of the people prevail at the ballot box.
I've learned from my kupuna that you never sell or contaminate or pollute your resource. And for the Hawaiians, the aina, the land, and the ocean is our resource. And to sell off our resource, aole mai kai.
We have collected over 650 signatures from all districts, all over the island. And if you look at these signatures, you'll recognize some of your friends and some of your constituents. And if we'd had more time, I'm sure we could have collected hundreds and hundreds of more signatures. Almost everyone I asked signed. People do not want this land sold.
Those in the community who have bought, worked on that land, lived on that land, they're the decision makers of what should happen to it. It is not I from Puna who can say that hamakua, that particular parcel, is good for this. It is those people who have lived there for generations that know that aina and know what it can do and its potential. When people come from other areas, including myself from Puna, I look, the first thing when you go to hamakua is you look to the kupuna there. What is the land appropriate for? And it is their decision that I really respect Dominic for maintaining and preserving our land.
Think about this here for a second. The The sale go through, we don't have these safeguards in place. The authorization goes through to the mayor. He completes his transaction and he closes the deal, goes to escrow, the transaction is completed. And then at the end of the rainbow, what we find is, as an example, Monsanto buys the property, which, as you know, is the people that are promoting GMO. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying what that does now, it puts us directly in conflict with what this community has been saying in regards to GMO. Now, let's use another example. What happens if this particular property of significant acreage comes in and they want to put a biofuel plant in the middle of Pauilo property? What happens then? You bring all of this impact to a community, and because there is no safeguards in place or public review, this transaction happens. It can have a tremendous impact, and that's why it's important that we get a grasp as to what could happen. Now, something good could happen. Mayor Kinoy could line up someone that has a very terrific agricultural plan for the property. Then this process doesn't hurt that. This process helps that. It allows the community to hear what's going on so that you can have community buy-in. So you can have the community understands the issues before them. That's what this does. It not only allows them to participate in the process, but remember, county, if we sell these lands to a prospective buyer, there is an obligation for us to support that. And it could be something that is totally against what the community would like to see happen. Folks, we need the review. It doesn't hurt. It really doesn't hurt. And by the way, it won't just apply to county to the hamakua land. This is just cleaning up the county code. And the reason why it hasn't been clear all these years is because we really haven't had significant property to sell. And that's why this language has just languished for all this time. But now all of a sudden we have 4,400 acres of land. We've sold 1,000 acres of it so far. And questionable as far as whether or not we got the right deal with what we've done so far. So, you know, council members, I understand the separation of power. I understand the mayor has certain kulyana, but I'll tell you what, this is an unprecedented decision to make because it deals with something that we've never dealt with before, which is large land holdings that the mayor is going to utilize to balance our budget. And by the way, again, as I mentioned at the very beginning, guys, we have our hamakua development plan that's coming down the pipe. Please allow us to have some leverage, some land that can help us move in the direction of agricultural opportunities for people. The land is an opportunity, folks, that if we sell it, we lose it forever. But that's why, if we're going to sell it, let's have legislation in place that makes us say, okay, Mayor Kinoy, right on, my friend. You did it right. Let's move forward. Transparency, folks. Thank you.
We're here together making eye contact, and it's about another important decision for the island of Hawaii, for the county of Hawaii. And again, we have a message that's very clear from everybody who's testified. So then you have a choice. Are you going to find a few reasons when we've all gone home, you're going to find a few reasons amongst yourselves not to support this bill? Or are you going to be listening, and are you going to have is your vote in the end going to reflect the wisdom that you are hearing from people?
Things like this has to happen for people to become awakened to how government does affect them. So I think this is a positive thing with that, especially if it does bring people out, if it does compel people to write, and so many people have written. It's encouraging to see that people are paying attention. So I think it's democracy at its best. So I'm very happy as far as where we're at, but I do need people's support to get Bill 132 passed.
Please listen, and please pay attention, and please consider the future.